Is perfectionism holding you back from creating content that you feel proud of? Do you feel that you are constantly needing to redo your things, reshoot your content, re-record your episodes, redo everything, rethink absolutely every single thing that you do because it's not perfect? The thing is, there isn't such a thing as perfect. Perfectionism is often that thing that we are constantly reaching for as entrepreneur, as content creators, as a person in general. And while striving for perfectionism could be a positive thing, there's also a downside to that. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're diving into ways that you can avoid perfectionism as a content creator and embrace creating content as an ever flowing, ever changing, ever improving process and experience. I'm Yesenia, your video podcast and content creation coach, and this is Focus and Bloom Podcast, a place where we share mindful content creation tips to up-level your video podcast production. Perfectionism is defined as a tendency to set excessively high standards for oneself and to demand that everything be perfect. Many people believe that perfectionism is a positive characteristic as it can drive you to achieve goals and attain satisfactory results. However, perfectionism can also be a trap that prevents you from moving forward and can often help you feel unhappy with the results that you're obtaining and your accomplishments. Perfectionism can affect you in a variety of ways, personal, professionally, in your relationships. But as a content creator and as an entrepreneur, often if we seek for that perfection, we might end up feeling that analysis paralysis, or maybe that we're overthinking what we're creating and how we're creating it. In my case, as a content creator, I often feel that because I'm a video podcast coach and I've been a photographer for many years, I feel that I need to have everything absolutely perfect in my shot, in every single episode that I produce. And while that is a great thing to strive for because I want to keep that visual production consistency, looking good throughout every single episode, every single piece of content that I'm sharing, sometimes things happen. That's it. Equipment malfunctions, you're not feeling great. Maybe just you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and just things are just not clicking that particular day. And this happens to everybody, and that is okay. And it can be very hard to accept, but it's something that we should actually be okay with, knowing that all of this experience that we're living in our day to day, these are experiences that are allowing us to try out and explore how we feel about one thing over the other. One of the beautiful things of podcasting is the availability or the capability of being able to connect at a deeper level with your audience, because you are speaking to somebody in their ear. So they're wearing their earbuds or anything that like that, you're connecting with that person. And it's a very valuable time where you have to really make an impact in that person's life with your content, regardless of if you're educating, informing, entertaining. You can make a huge impact in somebody else's life. But if we put perfectionism and if we feel that we have to be perfect every single time, we may be missing the mark by quite a lot. So, what can we do to embrace imperfection in a way that feels authentic to us, in a way that we know that what we're doing is actually making a difference and creating impact in the community? Well, the first thing is that we need to accept that making mistakes is okay. It's normal. It's part of our day-to-day life. As a content creator, it's very easy to fall into the trap of wanting everything to be perfect. However, it's important to remember that mistakes are normal and that even the most successful content creators, they're making mistakes constantly. And actually, one of my favorite creators, Sean Cannell from Think Media, he often talks about his first few videos, and like his first video and where he's like, he has no direction, no like engagement with the audience. It's like totally avoiding the camera. Not to mention it's very messy in the area where he's recording. Like he goes back to that video constantly. He refers to it because he's showing that you have to start somewhere. And if you look at Sean Cannell's YouTube channel, Sean Cannell, Think Media and Think Marketing, they have so much content in their platform. They are pushing content weekly, almost daily, and it's really high quality. But Sean had to start from zero and then build that up, build the skills, build his team to be able to get to where he is. You have to start from the beginning. And in doing so, just acknowledge and be okay with the fact that you will have the opportunity to improve along the way. The next thing is you want to set realistic deadlines and time limits. I often talk about SMART goals, which means specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time-based or time-bound. I know this sounds like a robotic thing to say and like very analytical, very like in the box. However, when you're creating your goals for your podcast, you want to be realistic and acknowledge everything that is happening in your day to day. If your goal is to create weekly episodes, but you're currently able to produce 2 episodes, make sure that you're creating the best 2 episodes that you can create, as opposed to trying to create 4 episodes in an okay fashion, if you will. So go set your goals, be realistic with your goals, and constantly check on how you're doing in your production and in those milestones, and adjust and readjust along the way until you find a way or a form to create content in a way that makes sense for you and in a way that you feel empowered in creating more content, because you know that what you're doing, what you're saying is actually making a difference and making an impact. Some of the things that I've done as I've been working on producing my 2 podcasts, this one, Focus and Bloom, and Bloom Creativo, which is my Spanish podcast, is that I've tested out different ways in which I can actually produce the most amount of podcast episodes without feeling overwhelmed or burnt out or losing my voice. We've already been through that one. I definitely don't want to go through that one again. So look at your production schedule or look at your production workflow to see what things you can improve along the way so that you can facilitate the production process. In doing so, you'll be able to set clear goals, reach more milestones, and feel that you're getting more wins along the way. And speaking of wins, even just by sitting down and recording an episode, that right there is a win, because you took the time to sit down, plan that episode, press record, and actually record it. So that is a huge step. So you definitely want to give yourself credit for even the smallest wins. And actually, those small wins are the ones that add up to bigger wins. So definitely embrace that. And finally, you want to seek feedback from your audience. Sometimes perfectionism can lead you to doubt your own work, and what you can do to combat this is seek feedback from your audience. And if you're not 100% confident in doing so, seek feedback from your friends or your family who can give you that feedback that you're looking for, the one that you need to see what things can be improved in your production, what things can be improved, and maybe in your delivery of how you're communicating your episode or anything like that. As a content creator, as an entrepreneur, you have the opportunity to make a difference in your community. And having a podcast is a really great way for you to be able to connect authentically with your audience, build that know, like, and trust, and establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry. So keep on going, keep on creating content, stay creative, and don't forget to celebrate all of your wins along the way, even if they might feel like small wins to you. I hope you found this episode inspiring and helpful. If you need a little bit more help with your content creation, your content strategy for your podcast, then head on over to focusandbloomstudios.com, where you can learn more about my coaching services. You can also find more information in today's show notes. I'll see you on the next episode.